You're not wrong for not speaking to people who do wrong to you. There are some people, they feel like no matter how much they do you wrong, you're supposed to put up with it. Even if you pick up on jealous energy, even if you pick up on toxicity, even if you pick up on the fact that they have special reserves of mistreatment and hostility for you, somehow they feel like you're supposed to put up with that. And I guarantee you, you're not. You are never wrong for not speaking to people who do wrong to you. If every time you speak to someone, they give you a nasty attitude, you are not obligated to keep trying to be nice to that person. Some women feel like they are obligated to be nice to their haters. Some women feel like they are obligated to be nice to people who don't even like them and just tolerate them. When you start growing into yourself as a woman and you start realizing that you are just as important as the next person, you no longer go out of your way to try to speak to try to be in proximity to try to get close to people who do wrong to you. See, there's this thing where people who are generally negative people, or some may consider bad people, it appears that sometimes they will thrive. They will go on about their business, being miserable, mistreating other people, and seemingly getting away with it. But for those of you who tend to be more kind, who tend to be more reserved, you don't really bother anybody. You don't really wrong anybody. The moment you stop speaking to people who wrong you, the moment you stop trying to make other people feel comfortable by trying to be cordial and you just ignore those people altogether, it always seems like the problem gets elevated because it's coming from you. Miserable people, people who operate in a negative, toxic way on a daily basis, sometimes it can appear that they get away with the most horrific things, while when you speak up for yourself or you deal with them in the same way they deal with you, now you're in the wrong. I promise you, you are not. So you are not wrong for not speaking to people who wrong you. Some people might be wondering, well, why would that even be a thought in the first place? Number one, when you are still eager to please people, sometimes you will find yourself still trying to communicate with those people who have shown you they don't like you or they don't respect you. As you mature as a woman, that need to people please, that need to make sure everybody is okay, that goes out the window when you start realizing you're not wrong for not speaking to people or dealing with people who mistreat you. You're not trying to please your auntie. You're not trying to please your mother. You're not trying to please your coworkers. If somebody puts you in a position where you feel like you always have to defend yourself, if somebody puts you in a position where you feel on edge or uneasy, those are not people you need to communicate with. I don't care if they say that you're not being a team player at your job because you don't want to talk to the meanest coworker in the office. I don't care if they say you're not being a team player because you recognize that the people in your office are fake and gossips and you don't want to associate with them. You are not wrong for not speaking to people who do wrong to you. Understanding that you don't, number two, force yourself on other people because you're not needy and desperate for other people's approval. There are some people, they get very jealous of women who do not go out of their way to play nice with people who are not nice. Now, I know for some people, some think, well, just because they're treating you this way, that doesn't mean you have to be mean to them too. No, but you don't have to be bothered with them. Being fake helps nobody. Being a woman who is trying to portray herself as this cheery, get along with everybody, that goes out the window when you're dealing with toxic people. People who try to do wrong to you and you feel like you're still obligated to be nice to them, oftentimes women who grew up in very narcissistic households where the mother or the father or the other relatives We're always gaslighting you into believing that somehow you're not seeing, you're not hearing, you're not feeling the things that you're feeling in regards to how other people treat you. Sometimes it's those people who always try to go along to get along instead of shutting down mistreatment in the beginning. So you're not wrong for not speaking to people who do wrong to you. There are some people, and this is another way some people try to gaslight you into tolerating bad behavior, or tolerating being bullied, or tolerating mean-spirited individuals. They try to convince you that somehow you are too sensitive. You are not wrong for not speaking to people who wrong you, and you are not overly sensitive simply because you give people respect and you expect respect in return. We live in a time where people are so miserable. People are walking around angry. People are walking around miserable. I understand that life happens and things, everybody has their own issues in life, but nobody has the right to pass that on to you. And there are some people, some women, you have to deal with the consequences of other people being unhappy with their own lives. That is not fair. So they bring you their nasty attitude. They bring you their passive aggressive nature. They bring you all of their life's challenges and dump it on you. You are not obligated to speak to or deal with people who do wrong to you. Now, one thing you have to get used to when you take that stance of not dealing with people and understanding that you're not wrong for not talking or speaking to people who do wrong to you, people are going to look at you as if you are the mean one, as if you are the wrong one. There are some people, they feel like women are supposed to deal with every and anything, and this includes other women. Other women will see some women as a target for their jealousy, for their envy, for their aggression, and somehow they convince themselves that you're obligated to deal with it. I hate to say it, a lot of times the women who are more susceptible to this are the women who are more kind-hearted in nature. Am I saying that you're not supposed to be kind or nice to other people? Absolutely not. But this is where knowing how to read the room and knowing the people you're dealing with comes into play. Understanding that you're not wrong for not talking to people who wrong you. The only way you can understand that and really feel that is when you read the people and the patterns of the people you're around. When you acknowledge, when you recognize that you're dealing with a miserable person, when you recognize that you're dealing with a troublemaker, when you recognize that you're dealing with somebody who is deliberately trying to get on your nerves, deliberately trying to bring trauma and tension into your life, deliberately trying to give you a hard time, you shut down all contact. And there have been this thing where people, they go no contact with family. Now, I will say this. I am not an advocate for shutting down all communication with family just because. But I am an advocate for maintaining your peace. And sometimes the only way you can do that is by not talking to, not speaking to, or not communicating with certain individuals. Have you ever noticed, and this is another reason why you should not feel wrong for not speaking to people who wrong you or bring drama and tension into your life? Have you ever noticed that the more you're in contact with certain people, the more your mental health really worsens? Now, this might be a little bit of a topic on mental health because dealing with toxic people, dealing with people who want you to feel like you're wrong for not speaking to or dealing with them, these are often your people. If you allow them, they will destroy your mental health. Being around people who feel like they have the right to mistreat you and do wrong to you, if you try to convince yourself that you have to put up with that because that's your mother, that's your father, that's your coworker, I work here, or whomever, your mental health will suffer. A lot of women deal with mental health challenges that can be resolved if they just got away from or set up strong boundaries with certain people in their life. When you constantly allow people to push their jealousy, their envy, and their negativity onto you, you are setting yourself up to be brought down. You are setting yourself up to be anxious, to be depressed, to be down. Dealing with the people who just tolerate you and don't really appreciate you, allowing them to mistreat you, even if they're your blood, if they're your family, that will harm you more than it'll harm them. When you understand that, you don't feel bad about not speaking to people who do you wrong. So these people are mad because you don't deal with people who do wrong to you, and you don't feel bad about it. You don't make apologies for protecting yourself from people who do wrong to you. Some people will also try to convince you that you're a twitch, for lack of another word, simply because you are very strict and you don't deal with other people's disrespectful behavior. You don't deal with other people trying to strong arm you or manhandle you. There are some people, especially other women, they get so jealous and envious toward other women that somehow they feel like they can speak to you however they want to. They speak to you like you're a child, and you're supposed to just take it because it's them. See, when you stop feeling wrong or feeling bad about dealing with people who do wrong to you, and that includes communication. There's this old saying back in the day, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, I agree with that to an extent, but words are powerful. And if you allow people to constantly say things to you that are negative, if you constantly allow people to even speak to you in a tone that is belittling, that is something that can impact you, not them. So you're not wrong for not speaking to that mean, miserable coworker. You're protecting your mental. You're protecting your peace. You're protecting your mood. People who are miserable, if you allow them to penetrate your mind and your spirit, if you allow the negative things that they say to get into your mind, that will impact you and bring your mood down low. A lot of women who started off as very pleasant, very kind, very nice women, all it took was for them to be around certain types of people for a set amount of time, and every ounce of niceness, every ounce of kindness was drained right up out of them. So you're not wrong for not speaking to people who do wrong to you. Don't feel like you are the main source of everybody else's peace, of everybody else's joy. And I say this from personal experience because for many years, especially early in my adult life, I felt like I set the tone for everybody else's mood. I set the tone for just everybody else's happiness. Like I set the temperature in the room. Now, to an extent, that works depending on the situation, but you are not in control of everybody else's emotions. And you can't temper your personality based on some miserable, jealous hater or to try to get in their good graces. You can't constantly be tweaking your personality and your tone and how you act to try to get along with people who are not going to get along with you anyway. No matter how much you try, no matter what you do, there are some people, they're just not going to like you. So you might as well just stop speaking to them and maintain your peace. From a spiritual standpoint, there's even a verse of scripture, how I believe, that says if they don't receive you, then shake the dust off your feet. Pretty much it means just keep it moving. If they don't hear or want to receive what you're saying, then just keep it moving. You don't have to try to, get this relationship to work. Try to get people to understand. This brings me to the next point. When you no longer feel wrong for not speaking to people who wrong you, You're not trying to force fit relationships. You're not trying to force fit opportunities. You allow things to happen naturally. If you get along with people, you get along with people. If other women vibe with you, they vibe with you. If they don't, then that's fine. You're not forcing yourself on anyone. You're not trying to get along with people who don't try to get along with you. We're not begging for other people's attention. We're not begging for friendship. So when you start keeping to yourself and you're not eager to be around those people or try to make nice with people who are not nice, there might be some people that try to gaslight you into believing, oh, I thought you were nice. I thought you were spiritual. I thought you were that. Being a spiritual woman does not mean that you put up with everything and everybody. And quiet as kept, there are some people who are even spiritual who are just as nasty, just as miserable as some so-called secular people. So you're not wrong for not speaking to people who wrong you. As a woman, as you continue to grow, as you continue to value your peace, the less concerned you become about playing nice with those who are not nice. I'm not saying to be like them. I'm not saying to start trouble. I'm not saying to go out of your way to make them feel your wrath. Just don't deal with them. That is the best course of action. So you don't feel wrong about not speaking to people who do wrong to you. You're not obligated to maintain the peace when they don't want it. You can shake your feet off and just keep it moving. For me, staying in my own lane when there are people who are jealous, miserable, or just give that negative energy, when you understand life is too short to put up with all of that, you don't feel bad about keeping to yourself and not speaking to certain people, period. Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the cute little high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.